if you have a large wealth gap and you have a lot of debt and you have an economic downturn, you're probably going to have a clash.
You've talked about the American dream. If you were growing up today, in what ways do you think it would be more difficult for you to achieve success?
I was born in 1949. That 1945 was the beginning of the New World War order, the end of World War II and the American order. And there was a belief that there should be equal opportunity. And this is deeply embedded in me. It would very much depend now a lot more on the family that one is born into. Um, it is more difficult because of the wealth gap. It is perpetuating because those who earn more money can spend more money on their children's education. For example, the top 40% of the population spend 5 times as much money on their children's education than those in the bottom 60%. So that's very unfair. There's greater polarity, and there's less of a common belief that equal opportunity is essential.
What changes would you make?
Well, at the big picture level, I would want to make sure that there was equal education and basic equal level of health care, and starting particularly with the children. I think the thing that worries me is people not doing it together. That people are at each other's throats, and some know how to make the pie grow bigger, and some know how to divide it better. What I would do along those lines is to bring people of different perspectives together, and help have them necessarily work in a bipartisan way so that we can reorient the country to be on the same path. I really do believe that we're at the risk of, um, you know, wasting resources in a system that people don't believe is fair and can produce a lot of conflict rather than efficiency. And when all that energy goes into fighting with each other, rather than to working well with each other to make productivity happen, it's very bad for the society.
And you said conflict is the most likely and result of what will lead to the change.
Yes, because I mean, just as a basic principle, if you have a large wealth gap and you have a lot of debt and you have an economic downturn, you're probably going to have a clash. And when the cause or causes that a people are behind are more important to them than the system and how the system for making decisions works well, the system is in jeopardy. And we're very close to those points.
How would you best explain what's happening with the changing world order?
Well, there are three big things happening. The first has to do with money and debt. Then there is this polarity of opportunity and wealth and politics, which produces the conflict. And then there's the rise of China challenging the existing power in the United States. And all of those things are going on, much like they did in the late 1930s.
Where do you see the country 10 years from now?
It really all depends on harmony and being able to row in the right direction. And it's a very difficult situation.
What makes your gut tell you that?
Well, there are certain things in the arc that you can't change easily. For example, if you are spending more than you are earning, which is the case for the country as a whole, and that's a problem. I think there are good things. Don't get me wrong. I think there's technology advances will help productivity. But the nature of those technology advances, most importantly, thematically, is that technology is replacing people too. So productivity, the ability to do things better, is improved, but then you still have the issue of the wealth gap. So I would say between now and 10 years from now, you will see some form of revolutionary changes in how things work, probably a lot of conflict to get there, probably, a power struggle. So I would say that you will see a more powerful, successful China. I think you'll see the US dollar's role in the world diminished. And I just hope we can, get on working together in a harmonious way and put our energies into making good things happen the way that existed really like in the 1960s.